One of the most important challenges we face as retail marketers in highly competitive marketplaces is how to get customers to engage with our brand and come back. Especially after a first-time shopper, the likelihood of them coming back for a second time, let alone a third, drops exponentially if we can't engage with them during their first time in store. The best way to do that is to have a loyalty system in place that interests them enough and incentivizes them to opt into your program and provide consent to receive marketing messages. How do you do this? AIQ sign-up forms. Extremely effective way to kickstart a retention model that's secure, profitable, and consistently drives sales while bringing customers back who likely are going out of their way now to shop with you. And so today, we are going to be talking about what I consider one of the most versatile tools in the AIQ ecosystem, our sign-up forms. So to start exploring, we're going to log into our AIQ account, go to the Customers tab, and click Sign-up Forms. The location is the exact same as it's always been in the platform. There's been no changes to how to access with this new update. Before we go ahead and create a new form, take a second to look at the metrics available now in the table view, showing engagement, conversions, sign-ups, things that weren't there before that really matter to understanding performance. We'll touch on this a little bit later, but this is just step one into the many simple additions that really make the new experience that much better and really feel like the customer was front of mind when making these adjustments. So to get started creating a new form, we're going to click the plus button in the upper right corner to open up the new builder. Once you're here, you'll immediately recognize a whole new experience. It's simplified, cleaner, and really maps out all of the options that you have to customize the experience. But we're going to start off simply. In this section, we're going to establish an internal name for our form. We want to make sure that this form name is concise and is reflective of the purpose of the form. For example, if we're creating a generalized loyalty sign-up form that's applicable to all locations, we'll name it Master Loyalty Sign-up. This way, if we ever need to refer back to the form, obtain the sharing links, get the QR codes, archive it, update it, make adjustments, whatever it might be, we'll have an idea of what to search so that we can access it quickly and effectively. Keep it simple. As your library grows, you really want to make sure that it's organized. And I really hope that your sign-up form library does grow as you start to think about all of the many ways that you could be leveraging this tool to do much more than just capture loyalty signups. Form names in, we're good to go. Let's talk form fields. On this first page, you're going to see a variety of options to really enhance your sign-up form experience. You'll see the option to create custom form fields, reorder how they're shown, define which ones are required, and add other options to make sure that the information that you need to collect in order to achieve your goal with this sign-up form is able to happen. Remember, these fields do determine what information you'll be gathering as people start engaging with your form and filling it out. So you do need to make sure you have everything you need. With that, though, it's important to be mindful of how much work you're requiring someone to do in order to complete a sign-up. We don't want to overwhelm the viewer by having unnecessary fields in place. This can put someone off from wanting to fill out the form, which is the opposite of what we want. Our goal should always be to have the most amount of signups we can possible, while still achieving what we need and getting the data we want to support our broader strategy here. So here's a few things to keep in mind as you begin selecting your fields. The less someone has to fill out, the better. So make it worth your time and theirs. And in order to maximize the impact of signups and optimize the amount of form fields you receive, you should definitely consider incentivizing signups with a reward for completion. This is a no-brainer and time again shows through data that it works. When somebody has a reason to fill out a sign-up form, they immediately see the value in executing it, completing it, and it gives them a preview of what it's like to be a loyalty member or a shopper at your store. This is a great segue into creating an experience that makes someone be more likely to turn into a brand advocate over time. One last thing before I move forward on form fields. I want to talk about a specific addition that's coming with this new update, and it's the ability to include collectible code redemptions directly in form as a field. This means your customers can input unique codes found on your product packaging, marketing assets, or promo items, allowing them to earn specific points or rewards based on their collection habits and how your program is set up with collectible codes. This means you don't need to rely on a retailer to have a loyalty system in place. This is an excellent opportunity for brands to take advantage of AIQ sign-up forms and collectible codes to have brand advocates outside of the retail store that are shopping wherever they feel like for your brand specifically and can earn points and rewards every time they purchase, regardless of who they're buying from. If you're unfamiliar with AIQ's collectible code feature, check out our support docu, search collectible codes. There's a ton of really great information on how it's used. I highly recommend you consider taking advantage of it, regardless if you're a retail or a brand. Vertically integrated retailers are a great fit for this tool, and brands really have an exciting opportunity to transform and expand how they use AIQ tools to reach customers, regardless of their relationship with the retailers. Once you have your form fields laid out, you're ready to move on to the next step, which is our content portion of the build-out process. In this section, this is where you'll call out if the form is intended to be location-specific, and if so, establish which location it applies to, define what the title and subheader should be, update or add any additional information to the consent section, and customize the messaging that users will see once they complete the form. Looking at this page, it's easy to see that the natural first step here is to define the form's title. This will be what people see when accessing your form for the first time. You'll want to make sure your form's title directly corresponds to the purpose of signing up. Here's an example. Become a loyalty member for forms meant to collect loyalty signups for your member program. Or holiday giveaway, $500 gift card for forms meant to gather raffle entries for a designated prize. Keep it simple and straightforward. You don't want to have too many words. You don't want to have too much room to guess. Keep it concise, let the customer get excited, and make sure that it gets the point across of what the purpose of filling out the form is. If you choose to leave these sections blank, the header will default to sign up for loyalty, and the subheader will be hidden so long as it's left blank. So make sure you're really being thoughtful about how you want to promote your form and how you get the message across as to why it makes sense for customers to want to fill it out. To make it worth their while, this is your opportunity to kickstart that. Next up is the thank you pop-up. This is what customers will see upon completing the form. Utilize this opportunity to close out the experience with a reminder on the why behind filling out the form to begin with. You might customize it to say, reward secured, if customers were incentivized with a discount to complete the form. Follow up with a message that clarifies what this means, like $10 reward available now in your loyalty wallet to redeem. This way, you're reassuring users that their signup was successful, reiterating they'll be rewarded for their time while informing them on next steps. Now that our form fields are in place and the basic copy's down, time to customize the look and feel of your form experience. In this next section, design, you'll be able to make the form identifiably yours. You can input your logo, upload a custom cover photo, include your brand name or name of choice as a reference header, input your look, customize your background appearance with an image or color of choice, determine your text colors and form field designs, options for custom text and border colors, along with an adjustable border radius to round out your fields if you want to. Lastly, you'll have the option here to customize your sign-up button with tools to create your own button text, add a redirect URL that opens up upon completion. If your form is for a loyalty sign-up, a great URL to include here is a link directing users to your loyalty membership page, outlining all of the perks of the program they just joined. You can also switch out the background color of the button, the text color, and border color, along with adjusting the border radius, just like in the previous sections. Take advantage of all of these features to make the form even more yours. Have a unique button text that's a CTA that's enticing. If you have certain language you use as your brand, include it in this space. Make it fun, make it easy, and make it yours. Once you have everything complete in the design section and your form is now up to brand standards, we can move to the last section, extras. Here you will find a brand new feature included with this update, pop-up settings. This allows you to configure any form you make as a pop-up on your website with customization options to display triggers, display frequency options, and targeting. Once toggled on as a pop-up, these customizations customization options will appear on your page. For display triggers, you'll be able to outline when and how you want the form to pop up. You have the options to choose from Show on Page Load, which is how long after the page loads you want your pop-up form to appear. Secondly, you have the option to Show on Click, which is the same option to outline how many seconds should pass before it appears once a click takes place, and how many clicks need to happen in order for it to pop up. You can have one or both in place at the same time. The third option is Show on Scroll, which again is the same option of outlining how many seconds you want to have pass after scrolling for your form to pop up. Lastly is Show on Exit. This means the form will trigger if a customer's behavior indicates that they are about to leave your site. This is especially effective if you're offering a reward incentive with your sign-up form. It's a great opportunity to capture that customer's attention before they potentially either abandon their cart or just leave the site altogether. Next is display frequency. This is where you'll call out if the form should not be shown again upon submission, or if when the form should pop up again after it's been closed. Enable the Don't Show Again After Form Submit option to prevent the pop-up from appearing for users who have already signed up. For dismiss pop-ups, you now have the opportunity to set a time frame before it will show up again, with options based on set amount of days, hours, or even minutes. Keep in mind though, when the goal is to maximize signups, display frequency matters a lot. However, there is definitely a fine line here. I recommend adding at least a 1-day period in between closing out and reappearing again, so a customer does not get turned off from your site by having to work around a pop-up every few minutes after closing out. One thing that's super important to be mindful of as you're looking to implement a pop-up form is to make sure that it doesn't disrupt the checkout process. Use the logic on the screen here to make sure that your pop-up form still shows up on your menu pages, but does not interfere with the checkout process or in-cart. This way, you're not disrupting your purchase funnel conversion rates or making it tricky to complete a checkout without disruptions. We ultimately want customers to make a purchase. We also want our forms to help grow our business, not hurt them by making a customer feel like they don't want to commit to checking out because there's too much going on in the process. So be mindful, make sure that it's not populating during your checkout process, and you'll be good to go. Now that you've established whether or not your form is going to be a pop-up, you can move on to the advanced functionality section. Let's break down the 4 toggles that are available here. First, we have our Refer a Friend toggle. Toggling this on means the form in front of you will be the default experience for signing up via a customer's Refer a Friend link. Make sure this form is positioned to support a Refer a Friend campaign from a marketing perspective before turning this on. And make sure that it's also segmented properly so that if you're intending to offer a referral reward tied to this action, you can do so by building a discount in AIQ using the targeted sign-up form audience specifically to ensure that the right people get the right reward when those right actions take place. Next up is SMS Send Opt-in Request. By toggling this on, you're requiring users to provide explicit consent to receive SMS messages, aka text. If you don't call out in your form that signing up opts you into text automatically, it is smart to toggle this on so you don't run into any issues with compliance. If you don't have this explicitly called out and well marketed, it is best to toggle on the next option, SMS Automatic Opt-in. Keep in mind that this isn't compliant for every industry, so follow the laws that exist for your operations. This means that no further action is required once the form is filled out to be able to contact a customer via text. As long as you have their phone number, you are good to go with sending the marketing campaigns without any further need to obtain consent. Again, make sure that you operate in a market where this is legal to take place. For this last option, Email Send Opt-in Request operates exactly how it sounds, just like the first SMS toggle. Turned on, all signups who provide email addresses in their form fill will receive a double opt-in email request asking for their explicit consent to opt into receiving marketing messages from your brand. Now that that's done, we can wrap up the extras section, closing out with the default form option here at the bottom of the page. This feature allows you to replace a specific store's default form with the one you're building out now, or have it update all default forms across every location. Simply select a specific store to replace its default form, or select all stores to replace the global default. Once you've made all your selections and toggled on the appropriate fields for your form, we're ready to create and share the content. In the upper right corner, you'll see 3 dots. Click this area before selecting Create. This is where you'll get the credentials to share your form once published. Sharing options are website embed, master URL or source-specific links, and a master QR code. This option is great for marketing collateral in-store and out in the field. Once you have your sharing items saved, you can close out and go ahead, clicking Create to save and publish your form. Whether you're capturing new customers, building loyalty memberships, running contests or raffles, using these forms to collect entries, sign-up forms are your gateway to gathering valuable data while creating a seamless, engaging customer experience along the way. That's why forms are way more than just a method to collect information. They're a critical touchpoint in your customer journey, helping you build your audience, boost engagement, and deploy targeted marketing campaigns and segmented discount offers and rewards based off sign-up activity and engagement, so you can create a truly unique system that allows customers to feel seen, valued, and rewarded for going out of their way to choose you. And don't forget, we have that secondary resource available in the caption. Go download the Ultimate Guide to AIQ Signup Forms, linked below. This resource is your go-to comparison for maximizing the impact of this incredible feature. If you have any questions as you start using the Form Builder, remember that AIQ's support team is here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. via live chat to assist you. Thank you so much for joining me today as we explored the enhanced AIQ sign-up forms. I cannot wait to see how you use these updates to enhance your strategy, engage your customers, and grow your business. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.